Hey folks, welcome to, I don't even know what this is. This is a hodgepodge of a few different things, but mainly it's a quick explanation and an advertisement. So here I go. Today's July 15th. It was 1 month ago today that Sangamon Outdoors went to Deer River, Minnesota to Satco's Resort and fished 10, 12, 13 hours a day for 7 straight days. And since then I've hit the water once. But like any fun trip that you look forward to for a whole year, you come home and it's nice to be home and great to be around my wife and kids, but it's kind of depressing that the thing you looked forward to all year came and went. So of course it was great seeing my wife and kids, but one thing that was really awesome is when I got back, my package from Real Bassin, Cohen and Company from Ohio, had delivered my intro package. So as I became I guess the pro staff member. So without further ado, I'm going to go through what came in my package, kind of an unofficial modified version of an unboxing. But I got 6 packages of baits, and frankly I'm very pleased, very pleased. In fact, I'm pleased enough that I went ahead and made a purchase of another 50 of their June bugs magic sticks. So as Cohen knows, that payment's going to hit him pretty soon, and I'm getting the 50 pack. When I was fishing up at Satco's, I had I think 1 package of June bug Yamasenkos and 1 package of Yum Dingers in the same June bug. Maybe I had 2 packages of those or something like that, but the bass eat them alive. I mean, we only used wacky rigs up there. I did a little bit of drop shotting, but it seemed like the drop shot lures were just a little small, and there were so many fish that I was catching all these small ones before they could get down to the big ones. So anyway, I've had 1 fishing trip since I got back, and my wife had just had surgery, and I left her at home on a Friday night with 2 kids to go fishing with my buddy Maj. And karma hit me really hard by a storm hit in the middle of the afternoon, and it danced around us all afternoon. We never really got rained down while we were out there, but it did affect our fishing and our time. But we both used Real Bassin baits, not exclusively, but for the most part, and I gotta say we were pretty happy. First thing I have right here is the Real Bassin. These are the beavers. I believe these are in some type of midnight color. It basically is kind of a crayfish bug type thing. My buddy said he was thrilled using this on a Texas rig at how thick and sturdy the rubber is, the plastic, how durable it is. And suddenly I have a strobe light in my basement, which I can't have because I don't want to have some kind of crazy seizure in the middle of my YouTube video. So I guess my lighting is going to be off now, but I won't be in the club with my strobe light. So yeah, so these beavers, I used it on a shaky head jig, you know, screw it in and then kind of hook it so it's just barely catching the rubber. And frankly, I tossed it out there, bounced it off the bottom a few times, and the next thing I know, there's a bass breaking water. He's got this in his mouth and he's going crazy. My buddy used his Texas rig and he put a few in the boat right away. So those were the beavers. I like those. This is the hot stick, and the hot stick is a drop shot motor. So it kind of goes from thicker on one end where you can kind of, you know, hook it through the end, and then it's going to float down. I really like the way this looks in the water. This is a motor oil color, I believe, and I gotta say, I think this would be very effective. Clear water, spring, summer, deep. I think the hot shots are going to be great. So that's one package. The rest of my packages were all magic sticks, and yes, the one I have coming is a magic stick, and I have the magic stick coming in Junebug. I'm not 100% sure this is Junebug here, but it might be. But Junebug to me is purple blue with some silver flakes in it, you know, something like that. What I really like about these is they're a little more durable than the Dinger. Not quite as bulky as the Senko, but this could be wacky rigged. When I used it that night I fished, I used them Texas rig only because the water was so high and so muddy at Sandcrest. I didn't think I'd get as much of a bite as I would getting it down a little deeper with the Texas rig, and frankly they were whacking it pretty good on the Texas rig. That color, and I believe this is like Black Rainbow, which is almost black, but it's got a red and purple and silver flakes in it. I really like that. And I don't know if I have two of the same color or if I have two that are slightly different, but there's another color here. These two are like a green watermelon. I think I'm going to try to get a shot tomorrow in my pool. My pool's fairly clear, but I think you're going to see the different actions. I'll do a shaky head jig with on here. I'll do a Texas rig and I'll do a wacky rig and just kind of show you what these things look like. And maybe I'll even compare them to a Dinger, because frankly I think they are better than a Dinger. So I'm going to be honest with you here. When I got out there on the lake that night, I caught a couple fish, my buddy caught a couple fish, and the next thing you know, my headache that I had turned into some type of insane migraine. I spent most of the last hour not worrying about filming anything, and I spent, because I was hurling off the back of the boat just trying to relieve the pressure in my head. When I was a kid I had migraines, and this was the worst thing I felt since a migraine. So I'm going to throw some pictures on here, but I have an intro video that I shot on the way out there, and early on I was worried about rain, and after the rain seemed to hold off, then I didn't feel good. So despite us putting some pretty good fish in the boat, in fact Hodge caught one that was big. That picture will be in here. But so I made a new intro for the real Bassin, and I'm going to shoot this video right here, and then I'm going to add a very long boring intro video and then some pictures of the fish we caught. So I'm not looking for this to be my best YouTube work of all time, but it is something. So I'm going to throw this together and throw this out here. I'm going to make another video probably tonight, and they should both hit by morning, I'm thinking. So in my other video I'm going to explain that my Instagram is about to hit 1,000 followers, and my YouTube is hitting a little bump here where I'm creeping quickly towards 250. But I'm going to do contest giveaway, and I'm going to explain that in my other video, because I want to get some more subscriptions. I need a lot more likes, and I want to bump the Instagram followers up as well. And I got a couple of big announcements, some things I'm going to do. So alright, I'm going to sign off with this. If you're not watching the John B. Keep Fishing Never Stop tour number 2, please do. It's amazing. Just sit down and binge watch that whole thing straight through. It's amazing. I love it. I know he's half my age, or not even half my age, but he's like an idol of mine. The work he's doing and the enjoyment of being out there fishing. Shout out to him. That's great stuff. So please, if you're not watching his stuff, start watching his stuff. And I'm gonna go walk the dogs and upload this, and then come back down here to the man cave, and we're going to shoot another one tonight. So giddy up. Hey ladies and gentlemen, fishing freaks and general outdoors people, or maybe just fans of me, I don't know, but my buddy Maj gave me the call today, and he gave me the invite to hit the lake with him. So Lake San Chris, it's been about 91, 92 degrees this week. Hot, humid, sticky, man, and kind of stinky. And well, what a great opportunity to get out of the house and get out on the water. So just got back last Saturday evening from a week of non-stop fishing in Minnesota, and I've been on daddy duty since with little Francis and Nolan, and I love them, and it's great, but it's also nice to get out of the house. So my wife and the younger daughter Jamie went to Chicago last night to see the Shawn Mendes concert, and they got back this afternoon, and she's like, yep, get out there, go fishing. So that's what I'm doing. And I also, when I got back from Minnesota, had a package I've been waiting on from Real Bassin. Yes, I've talked about this maybe before in a couple of the YouTube videos. Cohen, the young man in Ohio, just decided to go out on his own and start making his own plastic baits, and I got my first package, a 6-pack of things. I got some sticks and some hot shots and some beavers, and I don't know how hot the water's going to be at San Chris. I know normally this time of year we're approaching 100 degrees surface temp, but it's been a cold, rainy spring, and even though it's hot now, I think we can get some bass action without going too terribly deep. I'm not a big fan of dragging Carolina rigs all over the lake, so we'll see. But I am prepared to use some of those hot shots on a drop shot rig. I'm also prepared to maybe do a Ned rig, maybe a shaky head rig. I like to wacky rig, but the clear, beautiful waters of Minnesota with largemouth that are very, very sheltered and not targeted very much. Much easier way to use the wacky rig. I haven't had tons of success with it here. I might do a wacky rig pull, and if I need to bite the bullet and cut the line and put a weight in front of it and turn it into a Texas rig, I'll do it if I have to, but that is my least favorite thing. I'm also going to throw my favorite Akuma reel. That's Stratus SV35, I believe it is. It's got some rated line on it. I use a really stout pole with it, and the last 2 days in Minnesota, I really threw the same Zara spook the whole time. I think it was a Zell Roland Special, 3 hooks instead of 2, and my goodness, the fish just knocked the crap out of it. Unfortunately, I was only able to get one northern pike strike on film, but that is on my most recent video. That's the Satco's 2019 June trip. I really thought when that hit that I'd have tons of people watching it, especially with the 39-inch muskie on there, and me catching 2 and 3 bass and crappie in a row in some of those segments. There's some good things. Not sure though. Anyway, I'm making the beautiful drive from Chatham around Lake Springfield. Lake Springfield, for those of you that care to see that mud hole, Lake Springfield. And gonna cross over here down New City Road and head out to beautiful Lake Sandcrest. Lake Sandcrest, for those of you that don't know, is Chris from Sangamon County, or from Christian County, and Sangamon from Sangamon County. So you put it together and you got Sandcrest, Sangamon, Christian, Sandcrest. The counties meet in the northwest corner of the lake. There's a little area that's in Sangamon County, but most of it's in Christian County. We have had some nasty storms in the area, and none of them have hit me. And from looking at Lake Sandcrest, none of them have hit Sandcrest yet either. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna drive out there a couple minutes early. Got to re-rig some things and get set up. And my goal right now is a shaky head rig, a Ned rig, and I might just go straight to a Texas rig as much as I don't want to. Definitely I'm going to do a Texas rig with the real Bassin beaver. I'm going to throw one of those on right away and see what happens down there. Get my heaviest weights for the Texas rig, just in case the fish are down there a little deeper. And like I said, the last thing I want to do is go to a frickin' Carolina rig, but if it requires me to do that to catch fish tonight, I'll do it. But being overcast and storms in the area, it's only 77 degrees right now after being in the 90s. Those fish might be active, and I'll do my best to get as many fish as possible on Cohen's baits from Real Bassin, but I definitely gonna be throwing that spook around some. So yeah, the next time you see from me, I'll be out on Sandcrest. All right. Hey, one thing I forgot there, very important. Since I'm on the Real Bassin Pro Staff, I have a code to use. So if you go to realbassin.com and you want to purchase something, when it comes time to put in a code, you can put in my code, Sangamon 10. Sangamon 10 is right here. And you just put in that code and you're good to go.